Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morrisman, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. Today, I'm going to entitle this video, Monitoring Your Channel. And what I basically mean by that is, I try to make this channel very interactive. When people send me messages, I reply because they have inquiries about certain songs, tabbing service, requesting about the DVDs, and just some other things that they might want to know that I can perhaps assist them with. So, I try my best to be consistent with that, and I am for the most part. And I think it's important that, that you do that because, you have a channel and people come to view your content. And I think it's important that you monitor your channel. And what I mean by that is, regardless of where you at, what you're doing, you're going to at some point in time encounter idiots. You just can't get around encountering idiots. There's unfortunately there is no idiot zone nowhere. You're going to interact with these people. They're going to try to interact with you. So that's why I make it a point that when I get something that's kind of disrespectful, it gets removed and people get blocked. And it's not that I'm trying to be mean or anything like that, but you have to kind of maintain and keep a certain amount of order on your channel. Because here's something interesting. I was watching this video, some other guy's channel, older white guy, and he had this young daughter with him. She's about 16 years old, and she was assisting him in the video. He was talking about some type of electronic components, and he would, pick up these components and give them to her, and she kind of put them up to the camera. And even before I read some of the comments, I knew what was coming because, again, she's a young, beautiful woman. And unfortunately, she had a top on that was kind of revealing that I personally think that was kind of too much for a 16-year-old to be having at that point, because I got a daughter that's 18 and she definitely wouldn't be wearing anything like that, but to each his own. But again, before I even read the comments, I knew what was coming. And they first kind of started off as complimentary as far as you have a beautiful, lovely daughter. And this is something I find interesting, and I know people do what they do because they follow other people. But, when I'm out in public with my wife, she's an attractive woman, and I have people come up to me and, I introduce myself and then whatever. They say, oh, your wife is a beautiful woman. Tell me something I don't know. Why do I need to know that? Why do that have to be conveyed to me? But I understand that it's all about following trends. And some of the trends just don't make sense because I'm like, duh, I know that already. But thank you anyway. And the comments on this particular guy's channel start off as that your daughter's attractive. Then it got raunchy and disrespectful. Boobies. And then I'll blank the blank out of you. And I'm saying to myself, why didn't this guy remove these comments? It's important that you kind of maintain your channel and just kind of don't walk off and let people just plaster it with all types of derogatory statements and disrespectful comments. But, to each his own. Because, again, this channel here is about positivity. I don't bash anybody. I don't say anything disrespectful to people. And I expect the same in return. But unfortunately, sometimes you get a handful of people that just kind of unruly and want to get out of the pocket, and you kind of got to put them in their place and block the comments or block them. So, it's really important that, we be mindful of monitoring your channel and being very interactive with your subscribers, and I think that's really important. And I just thought I would make a video about that to kind of, I guess, make people aware of that, because the world would be a much better place if we all just kind of loved and respect each other. But, unfortunately, I know that that's not going to be 100%. But we can work towards making it as plentiful as possible. Every little contribution counts and makes a difference. So until next time, I'm signing off. Thanks for watching.